Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwaraha Gurureva Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Hrim Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Shashvannashwaram Eva Vishwamakhilam Nishchitya Vacha Guroho Nityam Brahma Nirantaram Vimrishata Nirvyaja Shantatmana Bhutam Bhavi च दुष्कृतं प्रदहता संविन्मये पावके प्रारब्धाय समर्पितं स्ववपुः इत्येषा मनीषा मम शश्वन्नश्वरमेव विश्वमखिलं निश्चित्य वाचा गुरोः नित्यं ब्रह्म निरन्तरं विमृशता निर्व्याजशान्तात्मना भूतं भावि च दुष्कृतं प्रदहता संविन्मये पावके प्रारब्धाय समर्पितं स्ववपुः इत्येषा मनीषा मम. Third verse. Iti esha manisha mama. So second verse, we saw two Mahavakyas. First verse was Prajnanam Brahma. It is from the Aitareya Upanishad. The Aitareya Upanishad of Rigveda. Prajnanam Brahma. The second verse was Brahmaivahamidam Jagatcha Sakalam. That was from Yajurveda's Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. And the Mahavakya from there is Aham Brahmasmi. The third one is today, which refers to Tat Tvam Asi. The Mahavakya Tat Tvam Asi from Chandogya Upanishad of Samaveda. So here the first line itself goes like that. Shashwan Shashwat Nashwara Nashwaram Eva Vishwam Akhilam Nishchitya Vacha Guroho. This perishing Nashwara continues. It is Shashwat, continuously perishing. Shashwan Nashwaram Eva Vishwam Akhilam. This Vishwa or Jagat. Gacchati iti Jagat is the term that's used for Jagat, that which keeps going on. Samsarati iti samsara, which means it keeps flowing. That is samsara. It doesn't stay in one place, keeps changing continuously. We did something good yesterday, we did something bad, we got happy, we got sad, we got excited, we got praises, we got brickbats. Somebody insulted us, somebody came and told, oh, wow, nobody like you. All of that keeps changing. Right? It continues to change. Sorry. So continuously changing. When you're doing something, also when you're wanting to do something else. A lot of times, even when we are wanting to do something continuously, we get bored. Very often we get bored because we want change. The change is also something that we always continuously look for. So as they say, change is the only constant thing. So Shashwan Nashwaram Eva Vishwam Akhilam. Change is the only constant thing. Continuously keeps changing. Everything, your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, your body, your mind, your physical condition, your environment, your people, your friends, your financial situation. Think of anything that you have in your life that is not changing. Even your faith keeps changing. Right? The last 10 years, I was faithful to this particular guru, this particular Bhagavan, this particular God. Nothing happened. Now my faith changes. I hope something else works out better for me. That also keeps changing. So if you think about it, sit down and think what does not change. Really, this pretty much everything in our experience keeps changing. Everything we experience keeps changing. Everything that comes into our experience keeps changing. Continuously changing. So he is making a strong Declaration to see that which is the truth. See, why do we need somebody to come and tell us that everything is continuously changing? That is because our attention doesn't go to that. Our attention is always on how to get something that I like, I want now. Somebody asked my friend in he was doing an MBA course, and he asked him, what makes you happy? So the guy stood up and said that when I get what I want at that time, I'm happy. When I get what I want at the time I want it, that makes me happy. Which is how we are. We're all like that only. The same thing I may not want it another time. So if you bring it to me, a lot of times this happens to us. We pray to Bhagavan, I want this, I want this. And it will not come. Suddenly it will appear. Like, "Ippo vana kete." I don't want it now. I wanted it at that time. Now I don't want it. So why are you giving it to me now? Why does such things happen to in our life? Is to show that nothing is constant. I'm giving you something. You asked for something earlier, but I'm giving it to you now to show you that stop asking. Because you may get what you have asked for, but it may not be appropriate. It may not be appropriate because we don't see all the conditions. We cannot determine or establish all the factors and all the conditions that are right for it to happen. And it may happen at an appropriate time, but we may not be ready. It may be good for also.
Conditions apply in kalam podradilla.
Correct. So it may be good for us. The problem is our wants has changed. My want has changed. That is the issue. It may be, see, this is something that we need to understand. When we get something, that's absolutely the right time to get it. It's just that we may not want it at that time. So our wants, our desires play a significant role. So this keeps changing. Shashvan Nashwaram Eva Vishwam Akhilam Nishchitya Vacha Guroho. Make this clearly is understood from the teachings of the Guru. So he's saying, learn this from the teachings of the Guru or the scriptures. Please see this. That's what he's saying. Please see this. Don't. A lot of phenomena that we experience in our life can be taken up as a lesson and a learning. If we are serious and focused enough to look at it. There's so many profound things that happen around us. We just have to develop the eyes to see it. And many times we don't see it is because our attention is not drawn to it. And there are just so many things that we've not developed the way to look at it that way. That is why there's a difference between seeing and perceiving. Seeing is what your eyes do and your mind, your brain, it processes and all of that. Sense organs receive that information. Perceiving is something that you're actually able to understand that from a perspective that gives you a deeper understanding. Right? So that engagement with the world, to look at it as Shashvat Nashwara Vishwam Eva Akhilam, Shashvat Nashwaram Eva Vishwam Akhilam, Nishchitya Vacha Guroho. Take this certain knowledge from the Guru with absolute determination. Nishchitya, clearly affirmed by the Guru. Why? Because this person, the Guru, is not giving you anything different. He's not teaching or telling anything different. He's just pointing you to something that is there. The whole Tat Tvam Asi Vakya also, in the story in Chandogya Upanishad by Uddalaka, the father to the son, Shvetaketu, is about pointing him to that. You are that, my son. Tat Tvam Asi, Shvetaketu. He says that. So it's only about pointing. Look at it. Nityam Brahma Nirantaram Vimrishata Nirvyaja Shantatmana. Says Nityam Brahma Nirantaram Vimrishata. Everlasting Nityam, all the time. Brahma Nirantaram. So now that you know everything is continuously changing, bring your attention and bring your focus to that which is Nityam Brahma. Nirantaram, without a break, uninterrupted. Nirantaram, Vimrishata, it is shining. And you contemplate upon that. Nirvyaja Shantatmana, which complete with complete um, honesty. And Shantatmana. Shantatmana, Atmana here means, here Atma word means the mind. With a calm mind, with a calm and a peaceful mind, bring your attention to this changeless Nityam Nirantaram Brahma. Nityam Nirantaram Brahma, bring your attention to that. And let that be the focus and let that be the object of your attention. Although Vedanta essentially brings you out of object and takes you to the subject, initially you have to bring something as an object of your focus and attention. And in this case, it's a concept. See, a lot of times we say bring that lamp or you light a diya and the flame, make that as an object of concentration. Or you look at, like the Japanese, they look at the wall. This is wall meditation. So look at the wall and just meditate. Or you look at Devi's eyes and you meditate. There are different objects that you make on the outside. Here, what is your object of meditation? It's a concept. That this Nitya Nirantara Brahma is continuously existing there. It is unchanging, uninterrupted. That becomes your object of focus. Although it is, I say it as object, in the experience, it doesn't stay as an object. Eventually, it will become the subject. But why am I saying it's an object? Because I bring my attention to that concept. That concept that here there is something. Now forget Aham Brahmasmi, Tat Tvam Asi, that will come to that. But right now, here there is something that is not changing. The change always, this is something that again in our experience we will understand. When something is continuously changing, there must be something that is not changing. See, even if you have a travelator, for example, when you go to the airports, you see these travelator. Usually when we walk, we understand the ground is not moving, right? The ground is static and I am moving. So there is movement, which is there is change that I am experiencing, but there's something static, which is the ground. And then you go to the airport and then you see there is travelator, the ground itself is moving. But it is positioned on the ground, which is not moving. Right? There is something that is static. You fix the moving thing on something that is static, something that doesn't move. It is always like that. Right? Even if you're moving that potter's wheel, the potter makes the pot over a wheel, right? The potter's wheel. The wheel is moving, but there is an axle and an axis to it which is firmly fixed on the ground. That also keeps moving. You can't do what you have to do. So there must be a substratum on which everything else is moving. And this is what he's pointing to. Nityam Nirantaram Brahma. There is a Nityam Nirantaram Brahma. Why? Because everything you see is changing. Cause, effect, cause, effect. There's continuous movement of cause to effect. Everything that I see and experience there has been a change. See, even if you feel that, oh, my life has been exactly the same for the last 15 years, truly has it been like that? If you have really realized and recognized that my life is exactly the same, then you've attained self-realization. Unfortunately, we say that with not with a conviction, with a particular boredom that has set in, because we are looking for something, a change, we are wanting something else, but we feel we are stuck. The statement saying my life is exactly the same from last 15 years is not a Vedantic statement. It is a statement that comes from I am bored, I want change, I am stuck, I don't seem to be going anywhere in life, I'm doing the same thing repeatedly, pattern. That stuck feeling is what is causing us to say my life is exactly the same. But if you actually pay attention on a daily basis, we will notice every day is different. Even if you get up and do your Surya Namaskara, Sandhya Vandanam every day, obviously it is different. The Suryan himself is different. There are clouds on some days, he's bright up on certain days, there is wind some days, there's no wind some days, it's hot earlier on some days, it's cool on some days, it's quieter on some days, it's noisy on some days. But we don't notice all of this because the mind filters out all of that. It becomes very selective. The mind is very selective because it revolves around your likes and dislikes. If you're able to see everything that is there that comes into your perception with attention, you'll never see anything is the same at all. This is the pattern that we have to break. Although we are doing the same thing again every day, morning 5 o'clock, I'm getting up, I'm doing, I'm taking shower, I'm doing my puja, then I'm going into I'm going to the kitchen, or I'm going to start my work, then I do this, that, and the other. Everything, the sequence of events may appear the same because you've established a discipline. But if you pay a little attention, close attention to that, every day it is different. So this is where you break a pattern with the sequence of events that you have. Sequence of events may appear the same, but you have to break the pattern that you are set up in, or you feel stuck into. Right? We may be doing the exact same things, but we may not be doing it the same way. The environment may not be the same. Your mind is not the same every day. Your body is not in the same situation every day. So this we need to start paying attention, and which is what he's saying. Shashwan Nashwaram Eva Vishwam Akhilam is there is change continuously, whether you witness it or not. On one side, we say everything is changing. So now, when we look at everything is changing, and then you come to a point saying, "Oh my God, what is it that doesn't change? Is world like this?" It's a deeper introspection that we get into. It's so much, which means continuously there is change, and is there something that is not changing? And then you sit down and introspect. And then you look at saying that, yes, everything is changing, my experience is changing, the objects that come into my experience is changing, people are changing, climate is changing, weather is changing, everything is changing. But the one who's experiencing all of this is not changing. Right? This whole process is about how do you withdraw yourself slowly into yourself with what is available right now. See, what I said so far does not require additional tools. It does not require additional methods also. We may, of course, use breathing as a technique to bring our attention. We may use some methods, some kriya to bring our attention and calm our mind down. Nirvyaja Shantatmana. We want to bring ourselves to a Shantatmana, to a calm mind. We require some of these tools, very important. But once you've come to a place where you're silent and you can observe honestly, with honesty, that's why he's using this word, vimrshata, nirvyaja, without any disturbance, without any, uh, klesha. Without that, you're observing, you come to a place of observation. Now you observe this. Observe this to say that there is something that is here that is continuously existing, whether I like it or not. My likes and dislikes are also outside this, because that also changes. Same ice cream, when I bring to you after you have had food, you have had a full sadhya, Onam sadhya, and you've had all these sweets. There are 3 paisams they keep, right? Parupu paisam and chakka and all of that. 3, 4 paisams you finish eating and you're full. Now I bring you one big, large tub of your favorite ice cream. You will not want it. You may want to keep it for later. You will say, Ippo venda. Fridge le vengo, I'll take it later. But the point is, your likes, your wants keep changing. We have to pay attention to that. Don't think that I have desired this, I wanted this, and this becomes eternal. Tell yourself right now, Bhagavan, yes, I want this, I feel I want this, I feel I desire this now. I'll work for it, I'll do it. But I also know that there'll be a point in time that this will not give me the same joy. When you bring that, you're not being depressed. You're not becoming depressed. Oh, this will also go away someday. No, not like that. Right now, there is this energy that I want to work towards this. I want to do this. But I know at some point in time, it'll all be gone. It'll be gone. It'll be done. It'll change. This will not interest me anymore. This we need to always bring into our conscious mind all the time. When we do that, when you know the temporariness of a certain thing, your involvement becomes significantly high. This is very interesting. Which is why I always recommend pick up something for a mandala. Right? Pick up something for 21 days, 42 days. Because if you tell that, oh, you have to do for all your lifetime, you have to chant this mantra. Finished. After a few days, you'll get bored. You'll start getting bored. But if you tell your mind that, no, it's only 40 days. No, only 20 days. Only this much time you have to do. It's like the last lap when you run. For example, those who know about, you go to run, you have to run 100 meters, you have to run 500 meters. You'll run some distance, and then you say, there, that is the goal, that is the marker, you have to reach there, and you're already very exhausted. What do? You put in that last mile effort, right? Or when you're swimming, for example, and you say that you're swimming, you're tired, and you see the mark is there, you have to reach this thing there. The last push you give. This is what a mandala does. You may start. First, usually this is what happens, a mandala, you start with a lot of josh. And one thing you should always remember, break your Dvitiya, Tritiya Vignam, right? When starting a mandala, the first day you will do with a lot of josh. Second day, puss. Ayyo, marande poche, I forgot I had started a mandala. So you have to break that. Then sometimes it happens the third day. Some people, I tell my daughter, you have to break the Dvitiya Vignam. My daughter says, I don't have Dvitiya Vignam. I have Tritiya Vignam. 2 days I do properly. Third day. So you have to break that and remember that I've started a mandala. Because a lot of times that happens, right? Today 30 minutes, I did fantastic. I started my mandala. Next day I'm back to my normal thing. Ayyo, நேத்திக்கு ஒரு mandala start பண்ணேனோ அப்படின்னு. And then we break that. And then you get into a particular rhythm. And then you give yourself about a week, 2 weeks, you will see that you may find the rhythm, or you may find that it's becoming repetitive. Then you will find a period of time when it actually gives you a lot of joy. It's like, wow, it's a nice routine. It's a nice, beautiful routine that I am establishing myself into. Right? You'll find the joy of whatever that sadhana you've picked up. And then it may happen depending on how long the mandala is, right? And depending on what you've picked up. Then it may happen that then you'll start counting days. Ayyo, how many more days? How many more days do I have to do to complete this? And then when you get to that, then you give it a last mile push, right? Okay, just one more week to go. Okay, just 4 more days to go. Let's just complete it. Because you also notice when you take up mandalas, obstacles will come. Some of the other obstacles will come. You'll be like, all other days, this time there is nothing happening. Now I've taken this up, suddenly everything will happen. As though everybody in the world knows I've started a mandala, everything will start happening. Appada nalu per belladi pa. Our friend on the okaro. Somebody will come, some velakaran will come. All of this will happen. But so you establish this. Why? Because you're telling your mind it's temporary. So you're tricking the mind in a way. You're tricking the mind in that way so that you focus and establish yourself in that permanent thing. This is the only way. See, mind is not a bad thing. You just have to kind of cajole, trick it, and make sure that it doesn't bother you. Keep it in a place where it doesn't bother you. And you invoke it, call it whenever you need it. So that that's also happy. Mind is also happy. Oh, I'm being used. I'm being put to use. But you don't let it rule you. Let that there are beautiful functions the mind has. Let that not rule you. Now, where does this difference come? My mind and me only comes through sadhana. The me that you establish more away from the mind, that conviction, that experience, that understanding that I am, there is something that is I am, which I am recognizing so strongly apart from the mind and the intellect. That recognition, that experience, that as we do repeatedly, then it becomes your then you go into this feeling that he's talking about nityam nirantaram brahma, that you keep repeatedly experiencing that there is this changeless thing within me. Then nobody has to come and tell. We need reminders continuously. Why do we read scriptures? The same thing Yoga Vasishta Bhagavan is telling, Vasishta Bhagavan is telling Bhagavan Rama. He's telling the same thing. All of these things are the same things repeatedly being told. It's just reminders. Say that all of these things are changing. Bring your attention to that. All of this is not permanent. Bring your attention to that. Right? So nityam brahma nirantaram vibrashata nirvyaja shantatmana. Bring your mind to a calm place and then bring your attention to that nityam nirantaram brahma. That which is eternal, that which is uninterrupted. Bhutam bhavicha dushkritam pradahata samvinmaye pavake. A very beautiful line. He says all your bhutam bhavi, the past and the future, dushkritam, all your dushkarya, the deeds that you think are unfavorable for you, the deeds that you have done, they are burnt, pradahata, and they get purified, pavake, samvinmaye pavake. They become purified in what? In this knowledge. Some with means this knowledge. They burn and they become purified. Pradahata pavake. Pavanam, it becomes pavanam. What becomes that? Your consciousness, your understanding. Your experience is now burnt off the past and the future karmic impressions. So he's talking about all the karma that you have accumulated. Bhutam bhavi cha dushkritam. All the karmic impressions that you carry from the past and anything that you're going to possibly do in the future, all that will get washed away if you find this place, the changeless Brahman within, and you establish yourself. How does that happen? It just burns off. There's a beautiful example that is given of how your karma burns. How does, for a realized person, how does the karma burn off? How does what is called as the sanchita karma? So there are three types of karma: sanchita karma, prarabdha karma, agami karma. Prarabdha is right now whatever you're born with. You're born with a nose, a face, this kind of hair, this kind of body. This is all karma. Karma. Because of your karmic impressions, you're born with this kind of a form. We may say that, oh, I look like my mother, I look like my father. Why are you born to that father and mother? That is also the karma. That karma makes you being born to such people, being born in such family, in such environments. And hence you resemble some of these people. So it is your karma that you're carrying on you. Now that is prarabdha karma, which means you have to burn it. You have to live through it. Even when Ramana Maharshi was asked, Padinaru, by 16 years of age, you've got realization. Why were you hanging around till the age of 75? So two reasons, of course. For Mahatmas like that, two reasons. One is you have to burn off the karma, prarabdha, whatever is there. And second is also divine will. They are hanging around so that other people can get inspired. So that is divine will. But essentially, you're burning off your prarabdha is the result of coming to this knowledge. Now, prarabdha, you have to live. You can't really burn it off the other. Okay, so prarabdha is essentially this, what you've brought. Then you have sanchita karma. Sanchita karma is the storehouse or the vault, right? The storehouse of all your karmic impressions that have been there from many, many, many lifetimes. This lifetime, you only brought a certain set of karmic impressions to exhaust this lifetime. And then you have the sanchita, which is the complete storehouse, which is a much larger warehouse. Agami karma is the karma that you create right now. When I'm doing an action, depending on the intention, I create a karmic impression. That's called agami karma. Now, what he's saying is bhutam bhavi, the past karmic impressions, which is there in the sanchita, gets burnt off. And the agami also gets burnt off for one who is established in Brahman. One who is in this through Brahma Vidya, through Atma Vidya, through Sri Vidya. This understanding that comes that I am this Brahman and I am this consciousness, Satchitananda. I am this consciousness alone. For such a person, how does the Sanchita burn off? It is like the seeds. So Sanchita karma, look at them as seeds. You have these green moong. Right? At home, you have this green moong dal. And you keep it out or you keep it in water, it will sprout. We take the same moong and you roast it and then you keep it, it will not sprout. What has happened? The difference, it is being burnt in fire. So if you take the seeds, so Sanchita are like seeds of karmic impressions that are there. Through the fire of knowledge, when they get roasted, they cannot germinate further. So that way they are burnt. Okay. Then how does your agami karma or the action that you have to do now, it gets burnt is because right now the doer is gone. for a Brahma Vidya, a Brahmagyani or a Atmagyani, the one who has understood the true self, the actor is gone, the doer is gone. So the action that he is doing does not generate any further impressions. The intention that I am doing this is gone for him. So the action, as it gets created, as the action is done, it is burnt immediately. There is no karmic impression. It is burnt. Like Nochur Swami would say, the mind cannot stay in the present moment. The mind is always bhutam or bhavi. So other meaning of looking at this verse is also bhutam and bhavi gets burnt means what? Your mind gets burnt. In what? In the present moment. In the present moment, your mind cannot stay. Thoughts cannot stay. When you're in the present moment, only consciousness can be there. The moment that consciousness, that event, that awareness, that experience is captured as a thought, it becomes past. Notice this in your meditation. When you're holding yourself, you're observing. Right now, you're observing. When you're observing now, you're observing now, you're observing now. Just the observation as it is there. What remains there is only observation. The mind, when it comes in, it's already past. Visualize this. I mean, look at the moment the mind is trying to capture a thought, that's already past. You again, because you moved. The moment is moved. The moment is moved. So in the present moment, the present moment, if you observe clearly, the mind cannot stay. Bhutam bhavi cha dushkritam pradahata. What it means, the actions that I have done means the impressions that are there, they are burnt. They become pavake. I become pure. In what? In the knowledge of the present moment of the self. One thing we have to understand is that when you're experiencing the present moment in your complete awareness, in your perception, all you're doing, all you're experiencing right now is the present moment, it doesn't mean the world has stopped. The change in the world is continuing to happen. And this is something that we all have to learn. Being in the world, how do we continue to respond and work and harmonize ourselves with the world, integrate ourselves with the world, yet within ourselves we stay in that present. We don't go around telling people, I'm in the present moment, don't disturb me. That will not work. Right? Somebody will come and say, Yo, paal pongindruke. No, I am in the present. We have to have that level of sanity. Okay? If you lose that sanity, then don't operate in this world. There are ways for such people. There are ways for people who are really so drawn to this, being so attentive, being here. I don't care what is happening, then don't operate here. Right? Which is why sannyasa or going into isolation is all recommended for such people who are so drawn by this that you don't know how to integrate this into the world, then you have to go. Because a lot of times I'm being particularly careful about using this present moment and all of that because I know that it can be misunderstood. It can be misunderstood and it can be misinterpreted also. Saying that I drop everything now, suddenly I become like this cocoon. You can't operate as a cocoon in society. You have to engage, you have to harmonize, you have to work with everybody. Find your space. Within that, find your space. Within you, be in that space. Outside, things need to happen. So he says, Bhutam bhavi cha dushkritam pradahata samvinmaye pavake prarabdhaya samarpitam swavapuhu ityesha manisha mama. He says, let prarabdha take control. I am not going to worry about it. Prarabdha needs to get sorted out or get exhausted through whatever is happening. Let it happen. என்ன நடக்கணுமோ நடக்கட்டும் அப்படின்னு. This is a very profound statement. Let what may happen happen is a very profound statement. It's a statement that should come from complete understanding, not from depression. You'll see a lot of people use a lot of Vedantic words when they're depressed also. You have to know that difference. You have to make it a complete awareness and complete conviction. Yeah, whatever may happen, happen. And the next time AC is not working, என்ன இது? கூப்பிடவன் நேற்றுக்கு தான் 400 ரூபா கொடுத்தேன். So that integration is very important. You have to integrate this knowledge and understanding into the way we are operating, and it should become our nature, right? It shouldn't stand out. I am here and then this is the personality I'm carrying on the outside. I'm a Vedantic person, I am this, that. No, who are you fooling at the end of the day? So he's saying prarabdhaya samarpitam, I surrender the prarabdha to the prarabdha. I am not going to fight against prarabdha. See, even Bhagavan, Adi Shankara, or the greatest of the teachers, you see that they don't fight prarabdha. They don't go against prarabdha saying, I am realized now. I am realized now. How can that, thorn prick my feet? I am aham brahmasmi. How can that, when I went and hit that stone, how can I get pain? So that stupidity falls off, because you realize that prarabdha has its role to play. Let that role be played. Let prarabdha play its part. Knowing that in the present, I can always bring myself to where? Nityam Nirantaram Brahma. I can bring myself to that because I know everything is changing. Prarabdha is also changing. See, as I keep exhausting prarabdha, something else, something else, something else, I don't know how much prarabdha I am carrying, right? I don't know. I have no idea. It is not, it's nobody has. You go to anybody, even an astrologer, and ask Swamin, எத்தனை பிராரப்த பாக்கி இருக்கு சொல்லுங்க அப்படின்னா they'll not be able to say. So till I am up and about, let me be in this conviction. Prarabdhaya samarpitam swavapuhu. This vapu, my body, I give it to prarabdha. Let it do what it needs to be done. Right? So this way he's saying the Tat Tvam Asi Vakya, Tat Tvam Asi Vakya of Chandogya Upanishad is explained here. And see, a very beautiful, important thing that even now we are looking at Yoga Vasishtha. Those who are reading that, you would know there's a verse in the Yoga Vasishtha in the first few, I think the first few pages, where Vasishtha tells Rama, he tells Rama that if wisdom is coming from a small child, also take it. If nonsense is coming from Brahma, discard it. But who's to know that which is wisdom and which is nonsense? And that also needs Bhagavan's grace. Right? We need Bhagavan's grace to even differentiate the two, which is wisdom and which is nonsense. And one simple tool I'll tell you is anything that you bring that brings you into a state of peace and into a state of inner contemplation. It brings you to allow you to pay attention to yourself within you is wisdom. Anything that allows you to do that. Anything that allows me to bring my attention to myself within me continuously, Nitya Nirantaram. Adi yaar sonnalum, anybody who gives us that understanding, we should take it. And even if a great master or great somebody comes and gives something that is going to distract you from that, Be okay to be discarded, okay to discard it. Because you are not more important than that person. You are not more important than this person. A lot of times what happens, we create imageries about people and we get stuck. How can that person say that? We get stuck with that. Don't worry about that. Bring your attention to this. So this is the idea of Tattvamasi. Guru is telling Tattvamasi or to the Shishya, the father, Uddalaka is telling to Shvetaketu, he is telling this, know this. He's pointing to that. He's pointing. That's all he can do. One can only do that. Can show a pointer. Like say you can point to the moon, point to the sun. But you using the pointer to see is our work. You can't tell the guru that you are only showing this much finger. How can I say see so far? You have to show God. I don't have to go to the moon and touch it and show now. The guru doesn't have to go to the moon, touch and show that see this is the moon. So that is the, as Shishya, we should be able to use these directional guidances. We should take this. Similarly, there are examples that are also given. The examples that are also given, in fact, in Yoga Vasishta, as you're reading, you'll see a lot of examples that are given. Again, Vasishta mentions this. He says, take the examples for what they are. Don't start analyzing the example itself. Drishtanta, you don't start becoming too caught up with the examples. Use the example for what? So that because I've established my goal, I've established a particular understanding where I need to go to. In that direction, you try to make use of the example and go in that direction so that it inspires you, so that it reminds you. Right? So that is Tattvamasi. He says, Shashvannashwaram eva vishvamakhilam nishchitya vacha guroh nityam brahma nirantaram vimrshata nirvyaja shantatmana bhutam bhavi cha dushkritam pradahata samvinmaye pavake prarabdhaya samarpitam swavapuhu ityesha manisha mama. Om कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि सदाशिवायेति समर्पयामि जगदम्बिकेति समर्पयामि सद्गुरुनाथायेति समर्पयामि हरि ओम तत्सद्गुरुभ्यो नमः देवा।